there is a real possibility that longtime fan favorite SpaceGodzilla may be joining the Monsterverse. The first thing I'm going to do in this video is talk about what that possibility entails. And then we'll talk about how SpaceGodzilla entering the Monsterverse isn't so far-fetched as some believe, and why this is awesome news if it turns out to be true. Hey, I just wanted to take a moment and give a little shout out to one of our members. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. It means so much to me. If you're interested in seeing your name up here and can spare a few dollars, become a Kaijutopia member today. It looks like an actor may have divulged a few things he shouldn't have. Actor Matthew Modine made a few social media posts where he kept hashtagging SpaceGodzilla, only to later edit and/or delete the SpaceGodzilla hashtags. Yeah, that last part is a little bit suspicious. Now, while this doesn't conclusively prove SpaceGodzilla's return to the movies is for sure happening, it does support the idea that SpaceGodzilla might be tearing the Monsterverse a new black hole sooner than we think. So what if it's true? What if SpaceGodzilla is set to play a key role in 2027's upcoming Godzilla x Kong Supernova? My esteemed Gojirans, here's what I'm really asking. Are we prepared to talk about SpaceGodzilla in public? Are we ready for the barrage of SpaceGodzilla is too silly comments? Here, let me break the ice and arm you with some Godzilla-rific talking points. SpaceGodzilla is joining the Monsterverse, but he's too silly. First off, you can't threaten me with what I want. Look, there are two main reasons fans and casual moviegoers give whenever they call SpaceGodzilla silly. The first reason is because of the name, SpaceGodzilla. Yeah, it's pretty silly, I'll give them that one. The second reason is the design, which while I personally love, I can see why others find it silly. If you're a Godzilla fan and you think SpaceGodzilla is silly, you're free to call SpaceGodzilla silly. But to paraphrase something every Godzilla fan might have heard growing up, Godzilla is silly. Now at times, Godzilla can most certainly be silly, but to claim he is silly was always a misrepresentation. For every silly antic in a history spanning over 70 years, there are dozens of counterexamples to the contrary. For Mothra's sake, Godzilla began as a nuclear war metaphor, a symbol of an anxious nation reeling from post-traumatic stress and existential fears. To make this long, take Godzilla seriously, you cowards, rant short, Godzilla can, has, and will continue to be silly, in addition to being simultaneously serious, fun, and awe-inspiring. But that's only because Godzilla has been around for many decades. Think of how many different versions of Godzilla there are, and how many more there will be in the future. The same logic can be applied to SpaceGodzilla. He just needs the opportunity to change like his namesake before him. Furthermore, it's not like we're pitching for SpaceGodzilla to be in a sequel to Godzilla -1. The Monsterverse has become an amalgamation of the Showa, Heisei, and Millennium eras. There's plenty of room for SpaceGodzilla. In my humble opinion, I think it's good that the current discourse is SpaceGodzilla is silly, because that means audiences are in for a shocking surprise, and who doesn't love surprises? Now you're most likely thinking, Tom, you handsome W, my reluctance has nothing to do with thinking SpaceGodzilla is too silly for the Monsterverse. It's just that I recently binge watched the Monsterverse, and SpaceGodzilla's arrival feels like it's completely out of the blue. I mean, to be fair, just about every Titan we've seen has appeared completely out of the blue, but I get it, SpaceGodzilla is a Godzilla with a cosmic twist, and with all the Monsterverse world-building expositions and retcons we've seen over the past decade, you'd think something like this would have, at the very least, been hinted at. Here's a twist. This isn't one of those videos where I allege the signs were there the whole time. That would only work if the Monsterverse had a 10-year plot mapped out from the very beginning. Instead, we're approaching this like a new writer would. Godzilla vs. Kong and Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire expanded the lore by introducing the fabled Hollow Earth, the birthplace of the Titans. Expanded material suggests the Hollow Earth functions in a separate reality from the humans living topside, leaving plenty of room for new dangers and wonders to explore. So, what is the key ingredient to bringing SpaceGodzilla into the picture? The Hollow Earth crystals. They're all over the place. Much like how Godzilla harnessed the power of Hollow Earth only for Kong's ancestors to extract the power from Godzilla's kind, the humans could do something similar with the Hollow Earth crystals. Only to discover the Hollow Earth crystals are a race of sentient crystallized interdimensional parasites, and they're searching for the strongest host, Godzilla. By bonding with Godzilla or creating a new host body using Godzilla's genetic makeup, it could then earn the moniker SpaceGodzilla. Keep in mind, it's not like anyone has to specifically call it SpaceGodzilla, and if they did, it could be played for laughs until the cosmic madness is fully unleashed. Who's laughing now? In truth, here's what I find silly about SpaceGodzilla. I'm gonna be brutally honest. His origin story is, even by Godzilla standards, it's ludicrous. So here's exactly how I'd adapt SpaceGodzilla moving forward. First, I'd introduce Little Godzilla. That's right, it's time the Prince of Monsters enters the Monsterverse. Now, Little Godzilla's inclusion into the Monsterverse could all be its own video, so I will keep it brief by saying it'd be an excellent way to not only help Godzilla grow as a character, by also making him more relatable to the humans in the audience, but leave a path towards succession. But when an interdimensional parasite enters our reality, it quickly infects Little Godzilla, turning him into the dastardly SpaceGodzilla. Now, Godzilla must fight SpaceGodzilla, who is simultaneously his son, successor, and destroyer. No, not that one. Those of you who are initiated probably know that what I just described is the plot to my Godzilla stop-motion film, SpaceGodzilla: Prodigal Son. Shameless plug, I know, but I honestly think this is exactly the right way to adapt SpaceGodzilla. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. Do you want to see SpaceGodzilla in the Monsterverse? And if so, what ideas do you have? Let me know in the comments section down below. I'd love to hear from you. I'm your host, Tom. Enjoy your stay at Kaijutopia. Just remember, please, don't feed the monsters. They bite.